So thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. But bear with me for the next like 10 seconds. Actually, it's going to be probably like 5 minutes. What we did as the Student Government Association is, you might have seen people awkwardly get up and leave at the very beginning. As a Senate, we just passed a resolution in support of the athletes whose programs were just cut. Kind of what this means is that it's a formal statement saying that we support our athletes and we support our students. So this is something that gets sent on to administration. It's something, not saying that your tweets and Facebook things aren't strong, but it's something more formal and has a little bit more weight. So we wanted to share that with you guys to know that USGA is taking this very seriously and that we really, really, really feel for our fellow students. And as student government, we're really trying to be your voice. So this is one of our senators. This is Austin Becker. He is a senator for the School of Engineering. So before I read the resolution to y'all, he was going to give you a little bit of the background why he decided to write it.
All right, guys. I'm originally from Homewood, Alabama, and from this exact location, my home is about, say, a 7-minute drive. I've been coming to UAB games, football, basketball, any type of UAB event, probably since the late 90s. My dad would take me to the games, and I've met Roddy White before, Daryl Hackney, Joe Webb. I've seen all these guys, and through growing up in Birmingham and coming to UAB and being a part of UAB at such a young age, it really made a large impact on my life. When all my friends would be going to Tuscaloosa or Auburn on Saturdays, I would always decline their invites to go, and because I wanted to be at UAB. I wanted to stay through the thick and thin, and even if we didn't have some of the greatest teams, you got to see incredible athletes play. Joe Webb is one of the most athletic people to ever play D1 sports. And when this news came across, it really, really hurt me because, not just because I'm a UAB football fan, but because it was part of my life, part of my family. My little sisters, they grew up doing the same thing, and it hurts me. And so I wanted to write this to show that us as a student body, we do not take these actions lightly, and this really strikes us to the core and affects us as who we are.
Alrighty, so there's about to be a lot of whereases, so just bear with me. That's how legislation goes. Alrighty, so this is a resolution entitled in support of the UAB football, bowling, and rifle team. Whereas football is a Southern tradition and vital part of most Southern campuses in the fall, whereas the sport allows student athletes to play the sport they love while receiving a quality education, and for many students provides scholarships to go to academic institutions that may not otherwise be able to afford to attend, whereas it's proven that a successful football program can lead to increases in admission, donations, and a passion for the university, whereas the UAB football team has become bowl eligible for the first time in 10 years under the tremendous leadership of first-year coach Bill Clark, whereas also under Bill Clark's leadership, support from the students and community has increased, fundraising through boosters has increased, and the attendance to UAB home games has risen by 130%, whereas there has been an enormous show of support from the city of Birmingham, from Mayor William Bell, multiple members of Birmingham City Council, and hundreds of business leaders across the city. Whereas on December 2nd, 2014, Dr. Ray Watts sent an email to the UAB student body stating that the football, women's rifle, and women's bowling team will have their final season during the 2014-2015 academic year. Whereas this rash decision will result in the loss of 85 scholarship football players, as well as an additional 85 scholarships will be taken away from various women's teams due to Title IX requirements. Whereas hundreds of other student athletes, cheerleaders, and band members will have the opportunity to compete, perform, and support the Blazers taken away from them. Whereas prospective students across the nation will see this action taken by the administration as a complete disregard of the wishes of the student body. Whereas prospective students, athletes, and regular students will be driven away from attending UAB because of the blatant disrespect shown by our administration. Whereas any decision made by the leaders of our university should be made with the interests of students at heart. Whereas the actions Dr. Watts have caused irrefutable damage to the student body and have lost the trust of students he is supposed to support, therefore let it be resolved that the Undergraduate Student Government Association will always fight for the proper treatment of our fellow students and recognize the hard work, dedication, and sacrifices of our student athletes to improve themselves, our university, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution upon passage be sent to the office of the President of the University, the office of Coach Bill Clark, the office of Coach Michelle Cruz, the office of Coach Lori Goodwin, the office of the Athletic Director of the University, and the office of the Head of the Board of Trustees, Governor Robert Bentley. But yeah, so we want to let you know that your Student Senate and your Student Government Association has your back, and we would love to hear anything you guys want to talk to us about. That's what we're here for. We're here to be your voice. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so just real quick, I just want to say that they're going to keep on saying that this was a financial decision, that this is going to be in the best interest of UAB. But we all know that's not true, and we all know that there might have been other ulterior motives behind this. And while our finances, while we might have been in a deficit, we could have brought that out. We could have done something like all of you guys have been saying over and over again. So I just want to take a moment to realize that Christmas break is coming soon. Everyone's going to be on break, and they're hoping that we're going to forget about this. But when we come back, after finals, after Christmas break, when we come back, please don't stop fighting this, because this isn't going to be fixed in 2 weeks. This is going to be a really long fight, and we need to make sure that we have as much support as possible. We as USGA, as Senate, as Exec, as the judicial branch, we are doing everything we can. We're talking to other student governments to try and get them to release a statement. We're talking to other Conference USA teams to try and get them to release a statement to make this a national issue, because we're not going to just tell them that this is okay. We're not going to lay down without a fight. But I just wanted to thank you guys all for coming. I mean, when I first came in here, it was probably like 100 students, and now look, it's 8 o'clock, we have finals next week, and we are all still here. And I mean, Evan's been leading this rally all week long, and I can't believe it, honestly. It meant so much to all of us. So thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for caring this much. Thank you to the football, the bowling, the rifle teams for being on this team and supporting UAB and representing us so well in every single game. Evan's going to finish this up with talking about how we're going to continue this fight, and just know that you can always come and talk to us if you have any ideas. A lot of our ideas have come from students who aren't on USGA, so please let us know if you have any ideas. Thank you.
Forgive me, I'm probably going to put this down in a second. I'm not a big microphone talking person. If anyone saw me out at these rallies, I was hiding behind the cameras because I don't like being the face of something. When I started the Facebook group and the page, I didn't know that it was going to have 8,600 joinees, and I didn't know that council people were going to contact me, and people from the governor's office and lawyers and all sorts of people were going to contact me. I didn't know that, but allow me to remove myself real quick from USGA. If I say anything that makes you angry, it's my fault, not USGA's. So the next steps, as I see it, and I've been in contact with a political strategist from the University of Connecticut, happens to be one of my fraternity brothers. Next steps are some form of boycott. This is something he suggested. There have been suggested by people graduating this semester, some sort of demonstration before, during, or after graduation commencement. The biggest one, there is kind of talks about a class action lawsuit that we're still getting some details on. I've been in contact with 3 different lawyers in the city, supported by council people and people in the governor's office. this isn't over is the point I'm trying to make. We have steps coming next, and these are big, big steps. It's one thing to march down University, and that's a huge deal, and it's another, we are literally going to change Alabama law forever. Our Constitution is pretty messed up, but it's going to be in there. It's going to say the UAB students came together and changed something. Whatever I can do for y'all, let me know. I got like 467 emails in a single day, literally, it was terrible. And I'm trying to keep up. We have some great administrators in that group. My roommate Joe is helping me with a lot of stuff. Send someone a message if you have a good idea for something we can do to continue supporting all these athletes. I have friends on each and every team that got cut, and I'm extremely upset. I'm really, really mad. I may not seem like it, but this hurts me a lot, and something that USGA can tell you about me is I don't lay down. So we're not over. This is not over. The Free UAB movement's actually picking up steam. When I first saw Free UAB as a hashtag, and I guess it was last year, I didn't think that it was going to have 60-something thousand retweets in a few hours. So don't lose faith. Like the lovely councilwoman said, keep your head held high. We've got powerful allies that are actually more powerful than PBJ Little Bear. Whether he wants to take a step or not, he's gone in February. So let's do this together. The first brick has fallen, and the wall is going to crumble soon. We're going to get our own board. We're going to get our football team back. Then we're going to have a better stadium than Legion Field. One of these days, you're going to come back as an alumnus to UAB, and we're going to have a packed-out stadium watching us win a conference. I really do believe that. Go Blazers.